He was silent. From work, just stop yourself. If you open a bakery, go in some uses,
I'll have yours and
Leonard Halsborough, LGA flipped on first, table 10. Kerry Griffiths, Melissa Abbott, table 11. Harriet Haynes, Jim Beresford, table 14. Natalie Madden, Charlotte Norman, table 15.
It's sold so well.
And covered himself into a 1400-degree state of break. And then he hit and ended up putting boiling hot water down his boots. So all this is all going on. Not doing well, not what he was told, but it's not out. Supposed to do things when you don't, and then you end up doing something.
So, good morning to you all. Match will be getting underway imminently. Lee just entering the shot on the left-hand side and walking across and taking his place. So we're just waiting for Clint, who's definitely around. He's been around since about 9 o'clock this morning. So this should be a cracking match. And now we're streaming on 2 platforms. We are on Facebook and YouTube. So take your pick. Whichever one works better for you. If you're at home and have your smart TV, then you can stream us through the YouTube app on your smart television. So you can watch us in 42-inch or whatever it is that's hanging on your wall. Clint just entering shot now. Got his cup of tea in hand. He's ready to go. So Clint will probably be a more familiar face for you guys. Lee Clough. I think he's a fairly local player to here. He's, excuse me. Yeah, he's a player that's been fairly prolific in the past. Taking some time out of the game, just recently come back into it. There's a couple of players similar to that. Another one being Rob Chilton. I know that Lee has been on a really rich vein of form. He was 14-1 before the tournament started. And just talking to the bookie last night, he was saying that he felt that Lee was the value in the field at 14-1. He said that he'd been watching him, practicing with him quite recently, and the guy has been on fire. So we know Clint's pedigree, we know what he's capable of. So this could be a really, really great match. And those who are just recently joining us, this is Beard Productions covering the STRN Open at the Savannah Pool Club in Whitefield near Manchester. My name's Nick Finn. I'll be taking you through the action today. Ball moulding is on production. George Sartorian is our roving cameraman. We're ready to go. Not quite sure what happened there. Bit of a false start on the lag. So we're going to try again. And pretty much a perfect lag there from Clint. He's going to get frame number 1 underway. can see the green flash on Clint Arontson's shirt of the IPA. He's a firm favourite in the IPA tour. Been a professional since 2014. Since 2012. Been active for 6 seasons and always up there in the top 5. '14 English Professional Champion, 2015 Scottish Open Champion, 2015 Welsh Open Champion. Other 3 titles to his credit in that IPA tour. So Clint with this familiar languid style around the table. I think I've described it before. He almost kind of slinks around the table. His shoulders back and very smooth. But he misses that red. Breaks down his opportunity, and it brings Lee to the table for the first look. Lee was one of the used to play on the IPA tour. In fact, won the IPA Professional 8-Ball Masters back in 2012. Both these players have a similar style, really. They're both very deliberate. Quite an antithesis in styles between what we've seen on the stream so far. People like Craig Marsh, Jordan Shepherd, who busily go about their work. These guys, both very measured. Lee reached the semi-final of the World Championships back in 2007, incidentally. So those 10 years ago. His nickname, the Tower. Looks like Lee's quickly into his stride.
Lead to break, leading 1-3 to nil. Well, 1-3 shot, 1 busy.
So in off the first break for Lee. Brings Clint to the table with well, with this free shot. Reds wide into the open. And just take this yellow out just to open the pocket for the red on the bulk line. And Reds look a bit of a dolly here, don't they? It's just about finding your ABC position, connecting the dots, and this is the kind of chance that Clint would have been looking for to get himself on the board. So we'll have a quick run through the scores around the room. Catch up with Sanjay Patel beat Michael Rose 10 frames to 5. Adam Griffiths beat Jack Whelan 10-8. Chris Dyson with an incredible comeback. And Chris was the first person in the club this morning. He was having a knock around when we arrived at about 7:45. And he was having a good practice, and that's set him in some good stead because he was 6 frames to 2 behind against Arfin Dad, and he's come back to beat Arfin 10 frames to 9. That's a really good win for Chris. Arfin, one of the most solid players in the room. So what a great comeback. And there was a match between Cy Fitzsimmons and Del Redmond on the table, just above the stream table. And that one's gone to the wire as well, Hill, and Simon's won that one 10 frames to 9. Ben Davis, who was 5 frames to 3 last time we looked against Ian Martin, turned that one around and he won 10 frames to 8. Lee Killen swept aside Jealous Singh 10-4, and Matt Brearley with a convincing win over Lee Washbrook. Matt Brearley strides through into the round of 16. And he won that one 10 frames to 5. So a couple of matches in play at the moment. We got Partab Singh, who's currently 8 frames to 5 up against Christopher Hatton. A few of the tables currently being used for the ladies STRN Open. There's a separate tournament running. I see Craig Marsh is in action. Craig currently playing Glyn Crook. So we'll have to keep our eye on that one. I think that one's just recently started. Matt Schofield is on the very next table to that, playing against Steve Wall. Steve Wall, a local player to Savannah. Also very adept player. See Matt Brearley just watching this game from the sidelines, tucking into a full English and celebrating his win.
Rob Chilton, Luke Micklesworth, 7-2.
If any of you wish to see the odds or wish to place a bet, then Craig Day is your man. Craig is playing in this tournament today. In fact, I think I see him in action. I do indeed see him in action. But if you go to his Facebook page, it's Craig Vegas Day, and send him a private message. I think all the odds are on his page. I know that if you're in contact with him, Jason Hill will be running the book while Craig's playing. Unless, of course, Jason's in action somewhere. Jason also in the tournament. In fact, Jason beat Rob Chilton last night. Nice to see Pepsi in the chat saying it's 45 degrees over there. Pepsi over in where are you, Pepsi? Over in the Middle East somewhere, Dubai or Doha or somewhere out there. I would imagine, knowing Pepsi, he's probably sat on the edge of his pool watching it on the iPad with his feet dipped in the water. Well, we're here in sunny Manchester, mate, so I know where I'd rather be. In amongst the action. But nice to have you watching, Pepsi. Hope you're well. So Lee to break frame number 4. Clint 2 frames to 1 up. flirting with the right centre, just catching the knuckle. See Jack Whelan just sitting in behind Clint, just having a chat. You see on the left-hand side, Matt Brierley. I'm sure that's not a fry up in front of him. Matt, you know, being so health conscious, I'm sure he's got a breakfast salad or something. It was good to have Matt on the commentary yesterday. Hopefully we'll get him across here later. So I see a number of people recently joining us. We are Beard Productions and we are at the STRN Open up here in Manchester. If you haven't done so before, if you could please head to our Beard Productions Facebook page and give us a like. And also, the only other thing we'd ask you to do is to share this video. There's a share button just at the bottom of the screen. If you're on iPhone, iPad, or some kind of Android device. And it'll be in a similar place if you're watching on a laptop. So if you're on Facebook, if you could share this video, it just gets our exposure out there. Would be appreciated. Hope you're having a good Saturday morning. Picking your football accumulator for this afternoon. Hopefully we'll have a great day of pool lined up for you. And you can just chill out and stick right here with Beard Productions. The next game up is Hassan Ali versus Seb Webb. So I know Seb was keen to get on stream. Good to see Seb in action. And then that's going to be 1 o'clock, and then at 2:30, also on the losers' side, we've got Ben Rowland against Carl Stevenson. Thank you very much to all the people sharing the event. So just a quick update on those scores from around the room. Partab Singh now 9 frames to 7 up against Chris Hatton. Craig Marsh 3-0 against Glyn Crook. Jason Hill is back in action. He's playing Jordan Shepherd and he's currently 2-0 up. We saw Jordan on stream last night playing against Cian Monaghan. And yeah, Jordan was on fire last night, so really takes him a while to wake up. if you, like me, wish to follow the scores, then you can do so on qscore.com. That's a nice double there from Lee. Just left himself a bit hampered here. Just makes this so much harder than it needed to be. Certainly expect him to pot it. And pot it he does. And he squares the game up at 2 frames apiece.
Clint to break, 2 frames on.
A wry look from Clint as he breaks dry. I have to say this table has been breaking really well. The balls have been bursting open. They're using this this new Racker cue. Sorry, Racker rack, should I say? This aluminium frame triangle, which is a new concept, new on the market. You can find it at theracker.co.uk. Go and take a look at it. It seems to be working pretty well, it's got to be said. Very consistent breaking on this table. I've been watching it now for, well, this is the 5th match. And I don't think I've seen one earth rack. So Lee with a very good opportunity now. Looking for potential banana skins. I mean, obviously the black's tough. I think, pretty sure it passes up the rail into the top corner. Difficult to tell. Well, there you go. That's a tight one, isn't it? He might need to do something about that, because that doesn't double into the middle either. There you go, and he's tried to move that straight away. Just nudged the wrong ball, nudged into the red. I mean, again, he could try and attack it from the yellow towards the bottom right-hand corner. Looks like he's got an angle now where he could pop this to bottom right. And cannon the black. And then quite possibly still have a shot on the yellow down the rail. So you'd have to assume that that black doesn't go up the rail, as he's already tried to move it once. So that's his conundrum. In all honesty, I'm not really sure what his other options are. He's given this a lot of due consideration, but it looks like this shot for me. He may have tried to leave an angle on this yellow to be able to stun across into the red, just to move the red aside and open up the pocket for a double. But he's going for the double on this yellow. Yeah, always seem to be just struggling a bit in that frame to... Wasn't particularly difficult clearance, but the black was always prevalent in his mind that he had to try and open it up. And ended up breaking down. Not really left the easy opener here for Clint. I think the one on the bulk line, Potts, I think he can get through the gap, or he's got the long one to the top left. The problem is the one to the top left doesn't particularly open up too many opportunities. He's going to have a long one back down the table. "15 tables in action today. All Supreme winners, covered with the now familiar blue 861 Strachan. Yeah, Clint not really seeing too much in the way of attacking options there, so decided to take a more conservative approach. But I think he's left a gap here. It doesn't go to bottom corner, but pretty sure he can chip it in the middle. It's a thin cut, the white's going to be travelling, so he's going to be a bit reliant on luck, but unless he's got half a pocket, he's just having a close look just to see if there's half a pocket to pass that red. No, he's going for the cut. He played that well, and little hand up in apology. He's got a bit fortunate with the kiss, landed plumb on the one in the middle. But hey, you take chances sometimes, make your own luck. have landed much better on this, to be honest. Just needs to roll forward a couple of inches, leave himself a nice angle. That's okay. Ideally, probably another couple of inches would have been better. But he's got a lovely angle just to drop this in, drift across just below middle bag to leave himself the black to top left. Oh, that one's, yeah, not the best shot he's played, that's for sure. And pretty straightforward clearance here for Clint as well. It's just going to screw straight back off one rail. Little touch of left hand side, just to bring the yellow further up the table. And now, very simple drop-ins. Lee taking advantage of, Clint taking advantage of Lee's miss black. Wasn't a straightforward black. Never easy playing them up the rails, and also he had hamper queuing, bridging over the red, which makes it infinitely more difficult. Let's see our sponsors, Town Tips, and their new product, the Town Chalk. Be interesting to hear your opinions on the chalk if anyone's used it. So apparently there's no residue, so you don't get any residue. No transfer from chalk from tip to ball, and also no transfer to the cloth, so you don't see chalk marks on the table. The pros that are using it are saying very good things about it. Solid break there from Lee, timed that well. Looking around the table, no easy opener on reds. In fact, no opener at all, so he's going to have to go yellows here. Just that one awkward yellow on the right-hand side, tied up on the cushion. A couple of balls around it, which he could try and use to move it. Alex Cheers saying that he uses the term chalk. Good stuff. Not had a chance myself yet. Let's try and get hold of a piece and give it a go. So Lee, just look at the angle he wants to drop onto that that yellow. So deciding against trying to move it. It's going to play it next ball after this. That's okay, I think. Just get through to the potting angle. He's just come far enough so he's not hampered. So this one needs some good cueing. This one the key to the frame. Not quite. And what's he left? Not very much. Hard to see an option here for Clint. He's going to have to play across table. Has to try and attack from here because there's no defensive options. And that's a wonderful shot. Unfortunately for him, he has flicked that red right onto the knuckle. And right behind it, I think that might just drop in. Yeah. But, well, he's got another tough shot yet, hasn't he? This is going to be an uphill battle from here. He's got balls on both right and left knuckles. No option for a double. A really skinny clip into the middle. Oh, maybe this does double. Or is he looking at the treble? No, neither. Just looking at playing a containing shot. Not sure that that's particularly good. No, I see a grimace on his face as he looked over Lee's shoulder. That's a bit of a loose one from Clint. Lee can get through to the angle. Just that shot. Lee put his cue in his mouth in frustration. Very unlucky. Look at this one. What a kiss. Another quick look at the scores around the room. Gansroids is 3 frames to 2 up against Gareth Higgins. Craig Marsh is leading Glyn Crook 5 frames to 2. And Jason Hill is still marching on against Jordan Shepherd. He's 5 frames to 2 ahead. Jordan's going to have to hit his straps fairly quickly if he wants to pull back into that match. A foul there from Lee gives Clint the free visit and just allows him to move this ball on the left hand side. Sorry, on the right hand side, should I say. The one on the left. Fairly certain drops. Pretty sure Clint was playing to play the one just above the black spot, but he left options, so changed the plan. And he's back in A1 position now. Again, choice of a couple balls. He wants to finish pretty much where the cue ball is now. Okay, so he's just going to take the one over the middle next. Great stuff from Clint. He now leads Lee Clough 4 frames to 2. Clint playing the second ball break, the cut break, which seems to be increasingly popular, certainly with the blue cloth players. You see quite a few of them adopting that break now. It's a pretty good split. Yellows look okay. To be honest, if the red just below the black goes, the reds look pretty good too. I think just given where the yellow is on the side rail, probably prefer reds. I don't think there's much in it. Really depends whether that red passes between the black and the yellow into the centre bag. I think if it does, he'd have probably taken reds already. So. People I notice again asking for the score. There is a scoreboard at the bottom of the screen, so probably chances are you're watching on Facebook and you've got the chat bar up at the bottom of the screen. If you just swipe it across, I think from left to right, you can move the chat bar out of the way, and you'll see the score box, and then you can just swipe the chat box back in again. Another very nice clearance there from Clint. And he's now 5-2 ahead. Lee's just stepped away for a bathroom break. So we'll rejoin you in just a couple minutes.
Lead to break, trailing 2 frames to 5.
seem to quite get through that break. Still makes the ball, but left a little cluster in the middle. Didn't just kind of sound right when it caught the front. Plenty of power, just didn't seem to quite have the timing. And as a result, left with this. Well, it's an awkward little run out, isn't it? It's yellows look good, but you've got the problem with this yellow on the right-hand side of the table. That's going to be his problem in this frame. Just looking at options, I mean, there doesn't look to be much in the way of, there's nothing around it which is going to naturally offer a skill shot to either pop that red or maybe try and move it. So yeah, Mick Hill, having been on at 9 o'clock this morning, was straight back in action against JJ Fall, and they're currently 4 frames apiece. Incidentally, both of those players won their first round matches 10 frames to 1. We saw Mick Hill this morning brushing aside Lee Wrigglesworth 10-1. And JJ also beat, well, a very adept player in Paul Tickle, 10 frames to 1. But JJ, well, he was on fire last night. I think he missed 1 ball in the whole match. Yeah, so they're currently locked together at 4 apiece. JJ probably underrated by some, and Mick would have gone into that match as a huge favourite. But JJ's got something to say about it. And looking across, he's currently at the table in the middle of a clearance. Yep, and he's just won that frame. So he's now leading Mick Hill 5 frames to 4. Glyn Crook just pulled one back against Craig Marsh. He's now trailing 6 frames to 3. Jason Hill has won the last 2 against Jordan Shepherd and now leads 7 frames to 2. That's a scoreline that many wouldn't have expected to see. But, well, Jason, another very, very good player. As mentioned earlier, he took out one of the favourites last night. In fact, if he does go on to beat Jordan, he'll have sent 2 very good players to the loser's side in Rob Chilton and Jordan Shepherd, who between them were both in the top 5 favourites for the tournament. And I think you can still get 25 to 1 on Jason Hill. Everyone talking about the pace of the game. I haven't particularly found either player to be excessively slow. Yes, measured. Yes, deliberate. But if there was a shot clock in play, I don't think it would have made a bit of difference, because I don't think either player's taken more than a minute over any shot. It's not the slapdash express pace that you see from maybe someone like Jordan Shepherd or Craig Marsh or somebody of that nature. But yeah, just two fairly measured players. It's been a pretty good viewing experience so far. The next game's not until 1 PM, so I guess the viewers who want to see a quicker game must have something to do.
Break, we did 5 frames to 3.
Again, the cut break from Clint. This time not successful. The balls are spread well. Again, a couple of minor problems. Reds would appear to be the favourite. Lee just looking now to see whether the red just to the left of the black spot goes through that gap into the bottom left. And also obviously got the issue with the red tied up next to the black, so nothing straightforward, but given the position of the balls, red's definitely the favourable option. That's tight, isn't it? You can see that's tight. The yellow's certainly covering half the bag. Clearly no opening yellow anyway, so playing the plant as his opening shot. Just an unwanted glance on the red, but he's still absolutely fine. Just needs now to find a way how he's going to move this red that's next to the black. Doesn't need to do a great deal, just needs to nudge the black out of the way. Just taking another further look at this red to see if it passes through the gap. I think it might just go. It's one of those. He's going to have to play it to left knuckle, but if he plays it gently, I think it will pass through the gap. And there, we're just looking now. So my guess would be try and leave himself on the left-hand side of the table, so he's got a nice angle to pot this one to bottom left. Come across and move the red next to the black. He's just working through his plan. So it looks like he's. That was always another option if this red doesn't go through the gap, then he can use it to play the plant. But he really needed to be right behind it. Just needed to be another 4 or 5 inches across the right hand side. Tough shot, this one. Slightly hamper cueing. An offset plant. Well, little hand up in apology to Clint. Clearly didn't play it that way. And as it happens, really left too much for himself either.
Rachel Sherritt, the format, table 14. Lucy Horrocks, Marie Cosgrove, table 11.
Yeah, Lee trying something inventive there. He really was in trouble. Didn't have an option for a treble, so I had to try and invent some kind of plant double. It's not come off, so Clint comes to the table, leading 5 frames to 3, and looking fairly ominous in this frame as well. quick update on the scores. Jason Hill's picked up another frame. He's currently 8 frames to 3 against Jordan Shepherd. Craig Marsh is 7-4. JJ 4, 6 frames to 4 ahead against Mick Hill. That's amazing. Not amazing if you know JJ, but well, Mick Hill was a 4-5 favourite for this tournament. His odds did relax overnight, and he was 5-4 first thing this morning, and currently 6 frames to 4, struggling against JJ 4. JJ is, if you're not aware, ex-South African international. Also, I believe, played for England. And he is the owner of this very club that we're streaming from today, which is Savannah in Whitefield, which is north of Manchester, just below Bury, pretty much almost due north from Manchester town centre, Manchester city centre, should I say. It's a big club. A very, very big club. 15 tables in action today. And room around them for another 5 or 6. A couple of 9-ball tables. He's got a 8x5. Pretty sure he's got a 9x5 as well. About 5 or 6 snooker tables. And that's just in the pool hall. Next door there's a great big bar, which I can assure you will be buzzing tonight. They always do karaoke on a Saturday night, and what with it being the boxing tonight as well, it is going to be bouncing in this place. So, yeah, a real party atmosphere. It gets really, really busy on Saturday nights. We're expecting a good crowd in to watch the pool as well as the event hots up. But, yeah, if you've never been to Manchester, Savannah, pay them a visit. It's a great venue. I'm not sure what time the boxing is tonight, but I know they're showing it live here on the big screen. So if it's a late fight, it could be a very late night for the club tonight. Viv Rusco and her partner Gareth Hibbett just recently arrived. Gareth lost last night against Craig Marsh in his first round game, and he's through to the loser's side, and he will face Greg Batten. I spoke to Greg this morning and spoke about his defeat last night. I think it was one that he would have expected to win, especially hot off his PAC victory quite recently. He said that he had an absolute nightmare journey up here last night. It took him 7 hours. He left. He lives down towards Exeter way, and he left at 2 o'clock, and he only just arrived here in time for his match at 9. Flew out the blocks and had a 7-3 lead, and then he said he just crashed. He hadn't eaten. So I think his blood sugar was down, got the shakes, and that's it. He couldn't pot a ball after that. I think he ended up losing. He lost 10-7, having been 7-3 up against Glenn Crook. So that was a total crash. And gone into the loser's side, and he's going to have to go about it the hard way with that match against Gareth Hibbett. Tough opponent. As previously mentioned, you can keep up to date with the scores through qscore.com. Just follow the links. There's a live link, and follow the links through to the STRN Open. Another score, which is just updated, is Liam Dunster against Mark McDonough. Liam, one of the 3 world champions in this event, is currently 4 frames to 1 ahead. Jordan Shepherd's pulled a frame back and he's now trailing 8 frames to 4. And in the meantime, Clint just going about his clinical work and now leads 7 frames to 3. So Mick Hill won the 11th frame and pulled one back against JJ. There's now 6-5 down. I can see that he's also currently at the table. A big crowd of people between myself and that table, so I can't really see the layout or what's going on. Just had an update on the Steve Wall against Matthew Schofield game as well. That's going on table number 7, and they're locked together at 3 apiece. And also an update from Craig Day and Dean Shields. Craig is currently 8 frames to 4 ahead, and very good player, Craig. Still a good price. Just a reminder that we are streaming this match across 2 platforms. We're on Facebook and we are also on YouTube. So if you're having any problems with one, then you can simply switch across to the other. In both places, it's Beard Productions. the previous shot, the shot before last that Lee played a lovely shot just to develop this yellow and give himself a chance at this clearance. Try and do too much there. It was pretty much dead straight, so all he could do was just stun it in and leave this tricky little yellow into the middle. It's a tight pocket, as you can see from that angle. It's just got to rely on your cue action. Just drop it in centre bag. That's a good shot from Lee. So this is a fairly ABC clearance now. One ball pretty much offers natural position to the next. You can drop this into the middle, just stun across to where his cue is pointing then, for the yellow in the top left, and then drift across table for the yellow to bottom right, and then the black into centre bag. So you fancy Lee to pull this one back. Maybe just a touch straighter, a touch closer to the cushion than he would like to have been. Just a little more angle, a little further away from the cushion, it would just be easy to stun across the side rail. So you may have to leave this one a bit longer than you might want to. There you go. This one would have been an infinitely easier pot if he'd got somewhere just below the centre pocket. But he's left this long challenge. And this one's all about cue action. Nice shot from Lee. And it does indeed make the clearance, and it's 7 frames to 4. JJ and Mick Hill traded the next 2 frames, so JJ still leads 7 frames to 6. Well, how many balls are on the rail here? Reds most certainly have the advantage. the red just above centre bag on the right hand rail, probably going to have to double that. And I would imagine, given the proximity of all the boards, he's probably going to have to double the black as well, because there's no natural ball. That you can use to move it, to move either one of those actually. That's a clever little shot. Could have done with just putting the black away another inch or two, but just using the black there to pop that red. Trying to develop the black into open play. As I say, if it was a couple inches away, further away, it would be a formality because he could use the one on the left-hand side to get onto it. But as it stands, it's still going to be pretty awkward. I wonder, it's difficult to tell from this angle whether the one over just below the yellow on the right hand rail, whether he can actually drop that into the centre if he gets right behind it. We'll find out on the next shot, because he's going to be trying to land on it. I think he can pop this. Oh no, he's going for the double now, so clearly the angle's too tight. It's okay, he looked worried for a second. I think it was just going towards bottom knuckle, but he's made it. And if Lee can get through this clearance, then 7 frames to 5, he's right back in this game. Good camel work from George. Well, this isn't the right angle, is it? I mean, he needed to be virtually over on the left-hand cushion. I think he's just going to have to drop this in and play a double. You expected him to get that one. He's going to be coming back to the table pretty swiftly because Clint's just going to develop that yellow. Play a snooker. Not an easy escape. Black's in the way of a one cushion escape. There may be a 2 cushion escape, but I fear the yellow may be in the way of that. The yellow on the right hand side rail. It looks to be the angle to go side cushion, bottom cushion. And the 3/4 cushion escape, the top rail, side rail, bottom rail, and come up behind the red. Well, the yellow's in the way of that. The yellow's on the bulk line, so maybe we'll just go between black and yellow and use a bit of side to straighten it up. Yeah, it was always going to be a tough ask. He tried to play it with pace to straighten it up. So again, Clint comes to the table with this free shot. He's asked to pick up the white. He's looking at whether there's a way to move both of these balls at the same time. So he wants to move the one off the left rail and the right at the same time, but deciding against it, just moving this one below the black. That's not gone ideal. So I think probably another containing shot. So JJ is currently leading Mick Hill 8 frames to 6. Liam Dunster was 4-1 up against Mark McDonough. Mark's won the next 2, it's 4 frames to 3. Gaz Higgins and Gaz Royds are locked together at 6 frames apiece. Craig Marsh, 7 frames to 4. That scoreline hasn't moved for a while. I think they're on a... we have got a link on some of the tables, so these scores get updated in real time. So they've got a device, you know, like an iPad next to the table that they keep their scores on, and it's linked back directly to QScore. So you see the real time scores, and I think that's one of the tables that's got it. So, but that seems to have been 7 frames to 4 for a long time. So they must be maybe locked up in a bit of a safety battle, which doesn't sound right for Craig Marsh. I expect Craig's been in too many safety battles in his playing career. Jordan Shepherd's making a comeback after being 8 frames to... He was definitely 8-3, it might have been 8-2. But that one's now 8 frames to 6. So Jordan took his time there to find his feet, but he's coming back into the game. That's a great shot. And he'll have been very happy to see that red and yellow get tied up at the top of the table. So Clint just playing another snooker. So this one's going to be a 4-cushion escape. Bottom rail, side rail, top rail. Beg your pardon, bottom rail, side rail, opposite side rail, where his cue was a second ago, so right hand rail, somewhere around about the bonk line. Top cushion, and in behind the red would be what he would like to do. That's a tough shot there. And there's a yellow. It's kind of blocking that path as well, the one towards the left-hand side rail. Tough ask. You can see, I mean, he literally just needs to just miss that yellow. that JJ Fall versus Mick Hill game. Expect an update to come in any second. I didn't see who won the last frame. Oh wow, what a great effort. What a super effort. Played that with extreme amount of right hand side off that near cushion to bend the ball across the table and take all of the angle out of the ball, flatten it out, and just came around the back of the red. So unfortunate. That was a really great effort. Yeah, they haven't put the I just saw JJ breaking off in the next frame, so it may be possible that one of them went for a bathroom break, but so that 8-6 may be correct. Just seems to have been 8-6 for quite a while when I just saw the JJ break. Anyway, he broke dry and Mick's now at the table. Clint with this fairly simple clearance after Lee's failed to get out the snooker. Yeah, nice clearance there from Clint. He's played really well throughout the game, and good value for his 8-4 win. Second favourite before the tournament started, and you can see why. I mean, he's a consummate professional. Jordan Shepherd pulls another one back after being 8-3 down. He's now 8 frames to 7 down. So he's won four on the bounce. As I say, it might, I think it was 7-2 and I think it went 8-3. So yeah, 4 on the bounce.
To break, leading 8 frames to 4.
Mick Hill was going about his clearance. He did actually win that last frame. He was 8-7 as the score, but he was going about his clearance in the next frame, and he's just gone in off. So JJ at the table, leading 8-7 with ball in hand, or a free shot, should I say? I say ball in hand because he's got the ball in his hand. Royds has gone 7-6 ahead against Gareth Higgins. Scott's just on a roll now, isn't he? 9 frames to 4. He's on the hill. Next up on the stream is our 1 p.m. game, and that's Hassan Ali against Seb Webb. So, any of you Seb Webb fans out there, do join us again. After this stream ends, we will reset things and we'll set up a new stream, and you'll get the notification as soon as we go live. And that is if you've liked our Beard Productions page. So if you haven't, then please do go across to Beard Productions on Facebook and click the like button, and you'll get a notification every time a match goes live. Also, if you haven't done so already, if you could please share our streams as they become available, just to get our exposure out there a little more. So after what has been an epic battle on in frame number, I think it was frame number 11 in the Craig Marsh game. Craig, that actually was a massive frame. It just went on for ages, but Craig won it. He's now 8-4 ahead. JJ's still at the table in frame number 16, and in the middle of clearing yellows by the look of it. He's on his last yellow. And he's got a straight black into the opposite corner to go onto the hill at 9 frames to 7. Just watching, and he's made it. So JJ 9-7. Needs one more frame to push Mick Hill into the loser's side. The man who was the even money favourite before the tournament started. As I say, JJ in a rich vein of form in the last couple of days, and really, really great player. I think you could have got some long odds on him winning this event before things started. I forget his price, but I'm pretty sure he was either 40s or 50s. So someone asking what kind of standard are these players? Well, Clint's been top 3 on the IPA tour for probably the last 3 years, I would think. At least one of the most consistent players on that tour. Lee Clough, the Tower, he's was a top 3 IPA player until a couple of years ago. He's taken a break from the game and only just recently come back into it. It's a very, very strong field. 3 current world champions in the field, along with the senior world champion. Don't have these 2 plants in the top right. I think they must, otherwise he would have tried to do something about it a second ago. And there we see. Clearly did. So looking across, Mick is at the table in frame number 17. And he needs to win 3 on the trot against JJ. I don't know. JJ's come to the table. I don't think Mick missed. I think he played a safety shot. Oh, maybe he missed actually, because no, I'll tell a lie. No, JJ's just, it was a safety shot. Nice clearance from Lee, and he pulls one back. You can see there, George has turned the camera across to that table in the distance, where you can see Mick's currently at the table. Mick's on yellows. I believe he's on yellows anyway. So he's got this long yellow with the black at his mercy to make it 9 frames to 8. There we are. And I think I'm right in saying that his break in the next frame, yeah, he's going around to rack them up, so it's 9-8 in that match, with Mick to break. Craig Marsh has won the next frame, and he's 9 frames to 6. Excuse me while I have a coughing fit. I was just about to say that Glenn Cook at the table on the black, but he missed it. Miss a black. So this chance, a good one for Clint to finish this match. Which now looks to be a formality. Lee looking relaxed in the background, assuming the pose. There you go, look at that. He's resigned himself that he's going to go across into the losers section. And we wish him good luck in the rest of his tournament, but it's going to be Clint Jansen who progresses into the winners section with that victory. 10 frames to 5, a convincing win by Clint and a really solid performance, and looking good value for his second favourite in the tournament. We're back on with the 1 PM match, Hassan Ali versus Seb Webb. I don't imagine there's going to be too much of a delay before we're back online, so look out for the notifications and we'll see you very soon.
Table 14.